Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that dovetails off of the video that I recorded yesterday about why feeling will teach you everything. That's in the thumbnail there. If you cannot, the video is entitled, "If you cannot feel, you will not learn." So this was a great example this morning because a good way to prime yourself in the morning is to develop a routine that doesn't take that long. Ideally, right? So as I've mentioned in many previous videos, I like to do things that will put me in the right state. So the first thing I like to do is I like to take a shower, and I enjoy that shower because it's warm water, so it's not cold right away. But then I'll end it with cold water because I want to be able to wake myself up. It is the morning after all. I don't really do it for any like health benefits, if there are any. I don't really know, especially considering if you're ending the shower with cold water for 1 or 2 minutes, I don't know. But the point is, I end my shower with cold water and then I stretch, right, to make sure, because my body's a bit stiff in the morning. I want to stretch out, make sure my muscles are feeling good, start the circulation. So it's like a physical priming at first, right? So it's a physical priming. That's why a lot of people, they recommend doing like 10 push-ups in the morning or 50 jumping jacks or taking some deep breaths, which is also what I do. Like I'll meditate, I'll do some power breathing. But as far as the mental aspect is concerned, because the physical and the mental, they both are interconnected, of course. But what I do is I record voice memos, and I have prompts for my memos because I don't want to just kind of ramble on and on in an unstructured way on these memos because I could get off track very easily. So I just want these prompts that are going to be able to stimulate the right part of my brain so that I could properly uh, basically focus my perspective. It's like the lens that you're focusing in the morning, right? The sky's moved, the distance is a little bit different, so you have to refocus your lens. You have to recalibrate everything. It's like a calibration. So that way, when you're looking through the lens all day, it's more likely that it will be more beneficial to you and you're going to be in a better state because of it, because you did the physical priming and also the mental priming. So you're kind of priming yourself. And these routines are not, they don't have to take 2 hours. It could take 45 minutes altogether or 30 minutes. So I was going through my prompts today, and I have some prompts here. What am I grateful for and celebrating? That's the first prompt that I have. And I want to be fully transparent with you because normally when I do this, things work out really well. Like I could actually feel like, what am I grateful for? What am I celebrating? I can really kind of tune into that feeling. What am I looking forward to today? What did I learn yesterday? How can I use that lesson? Now I'm going to break this all down, I think, in tomorrow's video. But what I'm going to do today is explain what happened as I was going through this. What happened was I wasn't feeling anything. I was like, what am I grateful for? Well, I'm like, well, because I'm recording this memo, I'm like, it's a beautiful day and I have, breath in my body. And it's great just to be alive. And as I was saying that, I was like, you're not feeling anything. You're not feeling anything right now for whatever reason. Who knows? Maybe you didn't sleep so well. Maybe you had some bad dreams you don't remember. Maybe it's something you ate the night before. Maybe it's something occurred. Who knows? Sometimes you'll wake up, you're in a different state. You still do the same things, or you try to be productive in whatever it is that you're doing, and behave in a consistent manner that's kind of in line with your principles and your values and whatever virtues that you've specified that you want to reach or embody. But every day is not going to be the same, nor is it supposed to be, nor can it be. Life isn't like that. I've talked about this in previous videos, where everything is kind of like, it's like this, right? It waves, it comes, it goes, there's highs and lows, right? So as I'm going through this memo, I'm realizing that the benefit of these particular prompts is for me to actually feel into them. Because the only way that you're actually going to feel grateful and carry the attitude and perspective of gratefulness, of appreciation in your life, of like celebrating, is to actually feel those things. Like if I ask you what you're celebrating and you're like, well, I guess it was so-and-so's birthday yesterday, and you have no emotion whatsoever, it's not really a celebration. So gratitude, by saying that you're grateful, is not really gratitude unless you feel it, right? Like saying thank you as an example, even though sometimes like automatic, but typically speaking, I mean, when most people say thank you, I would assume, I'm not sure, but when I say thank you, even if it's like more automatic, it's a sign of appreciation. Like somebody did something and I want to recognize them. I'm trying to recognize the other person. So I will say thank you. Now sometimes a thank you is more powerful. But if you're like thanking God or thanking existence or even like a person, you say it sarcastically or you say it just only because they want to hear, not because you actually feel it. Now, I can't really resonate with that, but some people are like that. That's okay. But you should really check yourself, right? And I had to check myself this morning because I wasn't feeling it, right? I wasn't feeling the gratitude. I wasn't feeling the celebration. I wasn't looking forward to any. I didn't have the feeling of these things, if that makes sense. So I understood what I was reading. I could say things, but those things would have no potency. They would have no power. They would have no emotion, no feeling, no meaning, no intention behind it. There's no intention there. So what did I do? This is the key point, is that you put yourself in a different state so that when you return to these things or when you do it again, you can do so in a renewed, refreshed state of mind. So what I did was I just started working immediately. So I started working. I'm like, you know what? Let me be a little productive. I'm not really feeling too much of anything right now, so I might as well get some work done. So I started working on some stuff, writing an article, some administrative stuff, talking to some clients here, making some connections, and speaking with my team. And it was a beautiful day, so I decided to go for a walk, and I was just enjoying it so much. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself to a coffee. So I went to the local coffee shop. I had a coffee. I went down by the pier, right? Because I'm on Lakeshore over here in Toronto. So I went down by the pier, and I was just sitting there. I was chilling. Beautiful day. I could see the waves glistening. The wind is hitting my face. I could smell the smells of spring, the sense of spring. It was just like fresh. It reminded me of just nature, and it was great. I listen to some beats. Sometimes I like silence. Sometimes I like music. Sometimes I like religious music. Sometimes I like secular music. Sometimes I like music with no lyrics, with lyrics. I listen to all genres. But yeah, I just decided to put on some music and just chill there with my coffee and just kind of like zone out. And it was just exactly what I needed. That was what I needed. There are some days, to be honest, where the day is actually beautiful and I'm not really feeling like going out. Like I feel like staying in and like working or reading or writing or doing something like that. So it's not so much the day, it's really you're tuning in to like what is it, what experience are you having? Because you want to make sure that everything that you're doing, especially if you want to continue doing that, if it's beneficial for you, to have that feeling, to generate that feeling. You're not always going to have it. So you still have to take care of your responsibilities, just like with the work. I was like, I'm just going to work. You know, you work. You think, it has to be done. You got your responsibilities and you take care of it. Now, when we're talking about like transformation, right, and changing perspectives, lives, like this stuff is going to require more than just that. Usually, not always. There are some people who will just like work diligently. They're not going to have too much emotion. They're going to work whether they feel bad or not. There are a lot of rich people who are miserable, so I've heard. I haven't met any, but yeah, I mean, the point is, you have to ask yourself what kind of life you want to live. Do you want to live the life where you don't care about how you feel or your emotions, and therefore you probably are not going to care that much about other people's experience? So, does that feel good to you? Like, do you feel connected? Do you feel do you feel like strong internally? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I know most of us, the majority of us, we want to have that feeling, right? Especially the feelings that I'm talking about here of like gratitude, of appreciation, of joy, of like anticipation, positive anticipation. Um, and even the negative feelings, we can learn from them too, right? But I had all my priming prompts and I decided to put that aside. It's not going to be part of my routine this morning, and I don't want to just go through the motions because it's actually going to drain me and piss me off. Because sometimes when you just go through the motion of something that you can do a little bit later, it's not like super pressing. You have to take care of it. It's an urgent responsibility that you have to do right now. It's a priority, and you could put it off till later. Like I said, do it later. Right. This is one of the points that I made in the article that I wrote the other day called the practical self-love or something like that. Like how to actually achieve your goals and show yourself compassion in the process. I could link that in the description. But yeah, that was my experience. And because I did all of that and I just decided not to go through this particular process, which would have annoyed me, I would have been annoyed a little bit more with myself just because I'm talking and I'm not feeling anything. It would have actually put me in a worse state. So I recognized that. I decided, okay, let me get some work done. What can I do to put myself in a better state? You have to ask yourself that. What can you do to put yourself in a better state? Sometimes it's not having a great meal. Sometimes it's not exercise, right? Sometimes it's something else. Maybe it's talking to a friend. Maybe it's going out for a walk. Maybe it's treating yourself to a coffee, right? Or a piece of cake. Just chill out, man. Don't make it such a big deal, right? Just do something that's gonna. But again, like you gotta have your discernment there. So it's not like, let me do a line of blow. It's not like that, right? Let me just smoke a fat joint, and then have a whole pizza. Like, again, limits, right? Limits. So use your discernment, right? You have to tap into what can you do to put yourself in a good feeling state, but it's also going to be like congruent with who you want to be. Like, not only just who you are, because who you are is who you are, but who you want to become. So it's kind of like make that congruent. So yeah, hope that was helpful. Clearly, I'm in a much better state. I'm in a much better mood, and it's only 2:03 p.m. This morning I woke up at like 7:30 or something, or 6:30. But yeah, it's only 2 p.m. I'm recording this video, still working, still writing, sun's still out. So yeah, just take that to heart. If you're doing something and the feeling isn't in it, do something to generate it and then come back to it. Especially if it's not a priority, you don't have to get it done right now. And don't be afraid to like treat yourself to something, give yourself a little bit of a reward that's again congruent and aligned with who you want to become. And yeah, watch a movie, whatever, right? And then return, right? But have the attention of returning to like a more together state, right? A better state. And allow yourself to like process what you need to process if that's necessary. And then you can return. And I'm writing an article right now entitled Negative Thinking and how to address that. So stay tuned because I'm going to publish that soon. And I'm going to record a video. And I think it's going to be pretty good. So stay tuned for that. If you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, if you have any comments, leave them down below. Questions, feedback, you disagree with me on something, you want me to cover something, you want to DM me, go ahead and do that. And yeah, I'll see you soon.